Tell me about your upbringing and tell me who Yared is.
I work for Visa in Eastern Africa region. I also had an exposure and experience in other market like UAE.
You suffered a lot through that. Do you think you earned your position at Visa? Yared, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Amish. Really appreciate it.
One thing I want to know now is, did you crave success?
That's a very good question. It's not the kind of money that I make. Very good job, do your job well, get paid properly, and you have a very good opportunity to grow.
Do you see a prospect in Ethiopia? Do we have what it takes to be the best in the area that you are working in?
We are lagging behind, but it also gives us a good opportunity for us to leapfrog. We started digital banking by card banking anyway in Ethiopia, right? The kind of transformation technology has in the last 100 years, these 5 years probably could double that.
Do you really believe the eastern part of Africa can compare with that of the likes of Nigeria?
When it comes to digital transformation, by the way, Eastern Africa is even faster. Fastest growing probably in Sub-Saharan Africa. Could be also East Africa.
Is there anything that Yared sees that you want us to see? Yared, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Amish. Really appreciate it.
All right. So I was thinking about this podcast session and I was thinking about several things actually. I happened to actually learn a lot of things about your upbringing and I was really curious to ask you about this question. A guy from Addis, not from a rich family maybe, so made it to be Visa's representative in Ethiopia, country manager. That is a good title. So tell me about your upbringing and tell me who Yared is.
That's a very good question. So actually born in Jimma.
All right.
But raised in Addis Ababa. Probably came in, to Addis Ababa when I was 3-4. My mother told me. So we grew up in Addis Ababa, basically grew up in around Janmeda, it's called Korea Safar, behind Minilik Hospital. Okay. So I lived and grew about around that place. As you said, from a very humble family, very average. I actually went to school around there. My elementary school is called Askenawad School. It's around 5 kilo. And there used to be, this የህዝብ ትምህርት ቤት, right?
Public school. Yeah.
So it's very, very small payment.
Yeah.
It's just, very affordable.
Yeah.
My mom is a librarian.
Okay.
And she used to really push me, in reading. I went there. So I did my first degree in physics.
Amazing. I mean, learning about that as well was one of my surprises because someone of your standing and someone of your background in terms of work, I wouldn't expect you to go to that kind of school and study physics. But I was really curious to know a lot about that and learn about the whole process. But one thing I want to know now is, did you crave success back then? Let me take you to the time in Janmeda, where you used to have this life of fun and the other times not fun because life was not a luxury. You didn't get to have everything you want in life. So were you craving for success back then?
As I said, I lost my dad when I was grade 6.
I'm sorry.
I think I don't even have a lot of big memories because he used to work in different, parts of the country. And we used to see him, during holidays and things like that. So I didn't really have that I don't remember a conversation with him. So it's always my mom who, she's always there. I learned everything from her. And as I said, she used to work in Wamazaka library. So she always, even if, the surrounding the area, in Meda, the people that, the friends that I have, it's always, playing and all, go to football and all that. She always, keep me honest when it comes to, my education. And, she used to give us a book. And, you have to read that book and then, tell the story without looking at anything. Right?
Powerful.
So I remember the first book I read that she forced me actually to read was Tokordem, if you know.
Now
It is.
I don't know what that is.
It's a very traditional. It's about a very traditional, rural area life. It's a whole, it's a very nice, interesting typical Ethiopian history.
No, right.
I mean, lifestyle, not history, like, the society, how people grow. Tokordem means like, if somebody kills your family, you have to...
A revenge.
Kind of. So it's just for the sake of the book, right? She just gave me, I read that, and I have to tell her the story, by heart. So, from that it started. It used to be a very small book, Tokordem, and then it goes to, Oromai and, all these big books, right? Foita and things like that. So she used to, even if, I was not a very good, very good student in my elementary education, but during the rainy season, that's during summer, in our case, it's winter. During that 3 months, you have to read 1 or 2 books from early stage. So I grew up in that kind of setting, and I always strive to be someone and then get my family out of the situation. I want to always grow up to be successful, obviously. We used to say that I'm going to grow up to be a pilot. I'm going to grow up to be, a doctor, like any typical Ethiopian boy. But then when I came to be, when I'm in high school, then things start shaping up. I want to be an engineer, actually an electrical engineer. So I used to work towards that, and I used to be very much interested in physics. And in my high school, I was very passionate about it. But then again, I still wanted, I wanted to be an engineer. So, but in our time, if you remember, it's not up to you to choose which department you want to go to.
Absolutely.
So, you'll be assigned to a university that you may choose or you may not choose. But when you go there, you might probably find the right departments available or not. In my case, there was not.
So
when I go to the university was just graduating from Wendogenet, forestry school, Dilla teachers education school, and then Hawassa Agriculture School. So these are the combination of departments that existed that time. Even if it is the 3 of these campuses became the University of W University. So, but then there was a plan for the university to become the university that it is right now. But we were those early batches where you don't have the luxury to choose a lot of departments out of. So what options I had was, either, strictly education or applied physics, applied sciences, or forestry or agriculture. In agriculture, there are animal science, plant science, things like that. So those are the specializations of the university I went to. So the closest for me to choose from was that. So the closest for me from that menu is applied physics. So I applied for that. Fortunately enough, I ended up in that department. But the good thing about that was also because the company, the organization, the university was also preparing to become a technology departments are also being put together. So they have these minoring courses. If you are an applied physics student, you have a choice to have a minoring in computer science. So I did my applied physics, minor in computer science, and then that actually gave me the opportunity to be more interested about technology, and I wanted to do software engineering. So after I finished my school, my university education, graduated with applied physics, minor in computer science, I went to to teach. Obviously, also there was no opportunity for you. If you are an applied physics student, either you should be a more inclined to be more research scientist and towards that direction, right? But that was not a choice. So just like any the other departments or the other faculty education teachers graduated for to become a teacher, we also become a teacher. So my first job was to teach physics and computer in Walaita. There was Walaita Educational College. So I taught physics and computer science, basics of computer science, and then that's when I started. And then I came back. I taught there for 1 year, and then I came back to Addis Ababa. I started teaching in elementary school, from grade 1 to grade 4, science, as a science teacher. And during that time is when I said, okay, let me do my master's at least in computer science or computer engineering.
I just want to go to the other experience you have and come back to the experiences you have in different places.
Yeah.
I'll touch on that. I'll ask you to touch on that point because there are interesting parts that are really, really fascinating to talk about in those areas. But now I want you to give me this perspective of the Yared who is today. And I have a little bit of the background that you have. As Yared, who used to strive to make it in life.
Yeah.
And now we have this Yared. In my opinion, and my lens, and my understanding, the Yared who made it. Life is okay now. You have things available. You're sending your kids to a better school than the schools that you went to.
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I would say I'm very happy and thankful, grateful actually, right? There are times that, in difficult times actually, I don't know where I get it from, but in difficult times, in challenging, whether it is project or, a place of work that I'm not very comfortable with, I just remember where I come from.
All right.
And that gives me yeah, I've gone through all that and I'm here, and this is just another challenge that I'm gonna go, pass through. So it also gives me that perspective. And if you ask me, am I happy? Yeah, I'm very happy. I have 4 beautiful kids.
Nice.
A wonderful wife who supports my career. My whole being, for me to hold my neck up and then go wherever and do whatever. The family that I have is also one of the strengths that I have in there, and I consider myself lucky first and then happy.
Amazing. So this is a point I wanted to know about the whole journey, and people have perspectives about success, happiness, and making it in life. You are a leader now. So a leader have a conventional thinking or conventional way of understanding how success is achieved. And for a certain leader, happiness or success is related to actually having the properties, the money, the vacations, all kind of things. And for some, happiness is just about reflecting, looking around your area and spending time with your family and thinking that you have all these blessings and you don't have any guarantee about tomorrow. whether or not you'll be enjoying all this tomorrow or not. So what kind of happiness are you enjoying and what kind of leader are you?
That's a very interesting question, and I'm glad you asked that.
All right.
As I told you, in different circumstances, I lost my parents, early, so everything that I do revolves around creating that family, maybe, to compensate for that family, right? So every decision I make in career or anything, it revolves around my family. Now, I used to work in Eastern Africa region, right? East Africa region. When I was, as a consultant, core banking, lived in Kenya, Uganda, and different times, right? After I get married, it's very interesting. It relates to the question that you asked.
Yes.
So I got married. I have one, my firstborn.
All right.
And then he was only a couple of months, not even a month before I go back to work. Every time I go back for work, basically is a 6 months, 8 months project, right? Of course, you're going to come back after 2-3 months to just see a family over a weekend or 3-4 days. But I am a project manager and implementation consultant. I have to be back for that project. So at that point, and there is a time that I can't even come. Then I brought my family. It was in Uganda, and I brought my wife and my firstborn to there. And then they come and I saw them. But then, I remember. You remember I told you that my father used to travel a lot,
Definitely.
And I didn't really have that connection. So I didn't want that to happen with my boy. He's just 3 months, by the way. Not even finished. But for me, that was just a turning point. So I just, she came back after 2-3 weeks. I was like, I think I can go back to Ethiopia and then just start working for a bank close to my family. And I made that decision actually. And then I used to do implementation work in Ethiopia as well. One of my implementation was Brand Bank, core banking implementation when I was there. So there are people who know me as a senior consultant in core banking implementer. So when I decided to come to Ethiopia, there was an opportunity for me to come to. And, they are very much willing to have me because I have a good, for project management, etc. That's not the point. To come back to the point, so I made a decision immediately. I got a job, very much less than what I get paid. But I made a decision to come to Addis, Ethiopia, and start working because I want to be closer to my family. So when you ask me what makes you happy, everything that I do is going back to my family and see the growth. And remember, I told you I have 4 kids, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in a family which we were just 2.
Yeah, definitely.
So I used to say that, nah, that's not enough. And also from that, loss that I had.
Yeah.
So we used to joke about that with my wife. She's like, no, not 4. But then we made it to 4. So for me, I go to work, do every bit of the best that I can for that work. Everybody who works with me knows that I give it all.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons that I always grow in my career is because of that. The Yared that a lot of people know is if you give me something, I will gonna give it all. Doesn't matter. It's not the knowledge that I have or the experience that I have. It's because I give it all. So that is also something that, that helps me to grow in my career big. But at the end of the day, that the whole thing that will anchor it back is, seeing my family grow and then, sending my kids to a nice school.
Wow.
Even though these days I struggle to give them the time that they need, work-life balance, I'm working on it. But every time I see, and I have a daughter also now, and, with all this stressful work and whatever, I go back and I play with her, I forget everything.
Wow.
So where my happiness is where my family is.
Wow.
This is one of the decisions the other decision is when I come back from Abu Dhabi, 4 years ago or something, I made the same decision. During COVID, a long story, but then we had to move. And my wife had to come back. And my wife wanted to do her master. She was supposed to, actually, we decided that my wife should do her masters while being at home. There's a life that we like in Abu Dhabi, and there is a life that we don't like. The part that that Ethiopia social, it's not there.
Communal life and everything.
Not there. So it's another story. But then we made a decision that she stays with the kids, and I wanted to also send my kids not to the kind of schools that I have seen in that time. My firstborn was ready to go to school, so we decided for the family to stay here and then go to a nicer school, a proper place, as I continue my work there.
All right.
Made the decision. 8 months down the line, I said, no, I'm coming. I want to be where my family is. When I come, I'll tell you. A huge difference in even salary when I made that decision.
Wow.
It's a huge, wow. 10 times lower salary that I come to, because it's not the kind of money that I make. Sometimes people might probably not believe this, but that's the decision that I made. It's not the kind of money that I made there. What makes it, for me, it's an opportunity for me to grow career-wise faster, bigger, with a lot of opportunities, exposure to a lot of more professional, work. But I came back, to that level with the same commitment. And there is also another story for the reason that I came back, not only for family, but the main reason why I came back is because we decided, me and my wife decided that, we wanted to continue living here, and then I didn't want to be there and when they are here. So a whole happiness revolves, a whole decision, even regarding, including career decisions, revolves around where my family is, and that's my anchor.
Amazing. I was thinking, when you talked about Abu Dhabi and the experience that you have in other countries in the eastern part of Africa, you mentioned Uganda and other countries as well. And I was thinking, is there the nostalgia element thinking about Ethiopia when you actually work in other places? For me, for example, if I go to one country other than the places that I frequent, for example, if I go to the US or Europe, what I start thinking about is after 3 or 4 days about Ethiopia, coming back to Ethiopia. It's not anything, or not thinking about a specific thing back in Ethiopia, but there is a thing that holds you, or that holds you to come back. Maybe you may
always temporary.
Definitely. You mentioned the communal life and things of that nature. The family aspect is there as well. Do you have anything in particular when you think about Ethiopia that tells you, it could be in terms of an instinct or anything like that, that tells you to come back to Ethiopia other than the family element?
I don't think so, but I can only tell you what I felt every time. Even when I decided to go to Abu Dhabi and just leave, for my work, it's always like temporary. You know what? As I told you, I grew up in a very typical, very humble, society, right? So everything that you made it, even if when you made it in life, or I mean, like, you get what do you mean making it in life? You get a very good salary, good education, good place to work and things like that. But at the end of the day, I crave for that Saturday where you go back to your where you grow up or where you are living with the people that you with your neighbors, with your friends. Have that Saturday afternoon, discussion every. That's when you'll not get it. I don't know. I have not lived in a country where those are the kinds of those are alternatives. So it always is that you say the communal life.
Yeah.
For me, very good job. Do your job well. Get paid properly, and you have a very good opportunity to grow, travel, and all that. But then at the end of the day, if you don't celebrate that every chance you get with the people you grow up with, or your family, or the people that is around you. I think that is always what is missing when you are there, right? So every opportunity I get, actually, you know, when I was in Abu Dhabi, there is an opportunity for you to travel back every quarter. To come back and, you know, visit the family and go back. So we never usually miss a chance to do that, because it is always, your heart is basically anchored back home. This is just my feeling, my experience.
Absolutely.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And for me, luckily, I don't spend a lot of lots of years in outside of the country. Looking at my experience, you know, working in Eastern Africa, 3, 4, 5 years, working in Abu Dhabi, 3 years, right? So it's just like, you know, go have the experience, exposure, come back again and all that. So, and that also has its own benefits. You know, when you have, you know, the East Africa banking technology experience, UAE banking technology experience, that also gives you an opportunity to come and work in a country where, you know, you will be a best candidate for you know, work and places. So I think that also gave me an opportunity to work in places where I work at. So back to your question, that's always anchoring me back to Ethiopia, and that's the feeling.
The other point I wanted to talk on is with regard to in relation to the banking experience that you had. I was actually hearing amazing stories. Someone who came from a background which is different from what he is engaged in now. Physics, done teaching, done having this experience in different places, assisting in college or universities and places like that. Then coming back to the banking experience, I know you have a minor in computer engineering or in areas of that sort, but I hear you talk about products. Do this and that in relation to technology and banking. A lot of areas in that way are really attractive, but do you see a prospect in Ethiopia? Do we have what it takes to be the best in the area that you are working in?
Yeah, that's a very good question. First of all, how do I end up in banking?
Yeah.
And then, you know, then we'll talk about, you know, do you see the future, you know, the kind of exposures that I had in other countries happening in Ethiopia? If I don't,
definitely.
Your question.
Definitely.
So, as I said, you know, I used to be teaching. Then after that, you know, I used to do my postgraduate diploma. But then again, while doing my postgraduate diploma, the Hillco College got its certification to even teach masters. So I just continued my masters there. So I got my masters in computer science. Then after that, you know, immediately, and then I started teaching, by the way, there in Hillco as well. I used to teach there as a, you know, a lab instructor. Then immediately after that, I got an opportunity to a core banking vendor company called Neptune Software, and I became an associate consultant there, and working on report development and coding some reports for banks. You know, from a core banking infrastructure, you know, from a database and all that. So I became a report consultant. And if you are writing a report, you know, developing a report, it's coding actually. It's a database programming, right? If you are developing a report, these are the kinds of reports. This is like profit and loss reports, financial statement reports, you know, loan arrears reports, loan performance reports, and everything like that. Me, I came from a technology background. I didn't have a lot of finance background. But then you learn on the job. The people you develop the report to will teach you what that report means for them and what is the kind of data they want to see. Looking at, you know, the data, you know, and then, you know, putting that together with you know, unstructured data, and then developing it into a report, you learn a lot of business or finance things with the people that are requiring those developments. So that's where I learned my banking. Then I become a senior consultant in implementation of banking. Then when you are implementing a core banking software company, software solution for a bank, you sit with all the departments, international banking, loan department, finance department, operation, and all that. With everybody, you sit together with them, and then you understand the requirements. And that's how you configure the core banking software. So from that, I learned. During my core banking implementation consultant life, is where I learned about banking, and I become a project manager. Now you have a technical background, and then now you become a project manager. You are now closer to the business decision makers, putting together a project plan, helping the implementation team to accomplish, all that. Now become more strategic, more business oriented, and that is how I grow my business, acumen, or what do you call it, right? Yeah. So that's where I learned, I became more business. I'm more attracted into business than technical. That's how I ended up in banking. So I used to be a core banking implementation consultant and a core banking project manager. Then I learned. That's how I started. So after after my career in core banking implementation, I joined a bank for core banking implementation and core banking support department head, software development for both banking department head. And then that also gave me more opportunity to learn about banking and all that. So after technology and banking, the next thing that I learned was digital banking. Now, 15, 12, 13 years ago in Ethiopia, we used to talk about core banking. Core banking was the ultimate, technology transformation from the banks. Networked bankers, you can bank anywhere, you can open an account anywhere. That was the ultimate strategy to grow. 5 years or 6, 7 years down the line, then it starts becoming, we also need internet banking for our corporate customers, for people, who are more sophisticated, who want to see their balances and generate their statements. And we wanted to be, we wanted also internet banking. And I also started learning and about digital banking. So that is how, and since I'm in a project office mostly, both when I was in Ethiopia banking industry or in Abu Dhabi, I used to work as a digital banking project manager, right? So that is when now I started learning about digital banking, digital transformation, making the bank easy, bringing your bank to your hand, to your mobile banking, all that. So that is how I became interested and passionate about digital banking and implementations and, bringing the bank into the hands of the customer and, and all that. Now, but coming back to your last question about, are we in the right track? Are we going to make it through this? Actually, Ethiopia is very much positioned in a very advantageous position right now. We are lagging behind compared to our neighbors like Kenya, Uganda, but it also gives us a good opportunity for us to leapfrog. We don't have to go through what Kenya has gone through for us to get to where Kenya is right now, for example. I was in 2013, I was in Kenya, in 150 kilometers from Nairobi. It's called Embu. In that place, I used to do an implementation for a SACCO there. Nawiri SACCO, it is called. I know a lot of friends of mine will remember. There, back home in Ethiopia, it's all about core banking. But then at that time, M-Pesa was born. Actually, M-Pesa was, I think, probably 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. I don't know exactly. But we used to get our paradigms through a wallet. And M-Pesa. It is easier for our head office to send us some money that we don't want our whole salary or per diem to come. We just need what we wanted. So they used to send us through M-Pesa, which used to be a USSD. All right. When we were talking about USSD in Kenya at that time, in Ethiopia, it was actually most of the banks are implementing more better core banking solutions. So when that process grows in Kenya was very natural, right? But then when we started talking about digital banking, we didn't have to. Yes, we started from USSD, but we didn't stay there for a long time. We started while we do our USSD banking in digital. We also used to do internet banking, and we were also trying to get mobile banking out. So that gives us a leapfrog, advantage. We were where Kenya was in the same time that we are in 2020, the same kind of concepts are being spoken in Ethiopia. Us being late to the technology didn't, hinder anything. It actually gave us an opportunity to leapfrog because we didn't have to go through that. So that is the position where we are right now. And we are actually in a good position today. A lot of technologies are accessible. Before we used to struggle to get a digital banking platform from, some other country, some big company that we don't know the name about. Someone who comes and we have that trust issue to make, and it used to be very expensive and all that. Today, a full digital banking, actually something that really close to a neo banking product is developed by our own Ethiopians, right? You've seen the implementation of Dashen Bank. You've seen, the implementation of, Abyssinia Bank, Apollo. You've seen the implementations and this Michu in Cooperative Bank of Oromia. These are all homegrown, most of them are. Maybe Apollo is a bit different, but then still, it is actually developed using the platform that was available. It is our, developers in the bank who actually made it better. So we had that capacity. So we didn't stay there and become a lot of dependent. We started growing, becoming more and more efficient in what we do and understand what we want. And the digital transformation is very interesting. And you have seen the growth of digital mobile money, mobile banking in the last 3 years. Look at what Telebir achieved. The number of customer subscribers there, the number of people. Have you gone a day without making a payment through Telebir? For me, no. Still, I also have a lot of banks, very capable, very sophisticated banking platforms. Well, sophisticated. Let that wait a little bit, but enough. Banking products for me to do my P2P transaction. For me right now, I don't carry cash. It's been months since I carry cash. I can, even in parking right now, used to struggle for parking because I didn't carry cash. But even parking today, either they have a Telebir account or they'll tell you more than 10 digits of an account number from CBE or from any other bank that they have an account on, and you just made a transfer to. So we're getting there. We are there. We have all the the necessary thing. We have a big population where scale can be these products can scale into. So are we in the right direction? We are very much so in the right direction. Yes, there are products like card payment and credit card and things like that we are still lagging behind on. But we are still we started digital banking by card banking anyway in Ethiopia, right? That also is still growing and it's going to continue growing. And it is actually the easiest mechanism of payment, if you ask me. Not because I work for Visa, but it is, right? Compared to which one is a frictionless payment than, tap and pay. Let's not go there anyway.
All right.
So we are really well positioned to grow into the kind of digitally transformed country. And even the government strategies, if you look at them, they are in the direction of digital transformation. Look at Digital 2025, what it has brought. Whether we have done it 100% what we have ambition for or not, but it has really significantly changed the landscape of the digital transformation of the country. And we are putting together, we are working on a Ethiopia digital transformation 2030. Right? We're going to continue doing that with all these digital transformation strategies. We're going to grow. And I believe so. I really strongly believe that we are in the right direction and we are making. Remember, 3 years ago and 2 years ago and 1 year ago, right now, most of the banks will tell you 60, 70, 80% of their transaction is actually happening not in a branch, on a bank, on a mobile banking or on a wallet, and a combination of this digital banking. I remember CB, announcing more than 80% of its transaction is now on it is mobile banking. So, yeah, we are in the right direction and we are well positioned to grow even better, strong. The technology, the capability, the human capital that we need, our kids that are graduating right now from school are very good developers. They actually are creating companies and becoming a bigger fintech companies. Look at Something Pay. These are kids who came out of the college and they created a company and become one of the best fintech companies in the country, which is actually solving a real problem in the market. Right? RFA, Chapa, and Kacha. I can't call every one of them, but these are the inspiring products. So
you can't call any of them.
So all of that is coming from this. So yeah.
All right, amazing. Let me take you back to your school and the experiences you have had there back in maybe university and the life that you are experiencing today, the life that we are experiencing today. Off the record, off mic, we were talking about the experience at university where you didn't have access to books. We didn't have access to books, so where we had to hide the limited number of books that we have had back in those days. And the kind of knowledge and the kind of lecture we received from our professors, those people who used to teach us in universities. And the world today is a different world where you access everything in minutes. Everything in minutes. So we're not that old. We're still young. I'm a millennial. I don't know what you are. Maybe you are a millennial as well. So we are around the same age, but we're seeing and feeling the shift. And the pace is incredible. What would you do if you had the opportunity to take the resources that this world today has to those days and in those times in university? What things would be a different thing if you had all the power to apply the resources from today to those days in university? Just give me that scenario and explain that scenario for me. Because I have this understanding, but I don't believe young people are taking advantage of the opportunities that we have today. Young people are taking for granted everything that technology brought. Well, you suffered a lot through that. I suffered a lot through that. We know the opportunity that we have today. So tell me those things that you would do if you had all the resources and take them to those times.
Wow. So, I think it's a science fiction for the people that we are. If somebody tells us the kinds of things that we do right now, but it is a science fiction basically. So that's how I want to put it. But I'll just give you an example, right? My experience, right? So even in high school, even in college, and actually I went to a university, which is becoming a big university, and, getting in resources that the university need. And probably that university is much better now. But when I started the university, the library was new. Very limited number of books and things like that. So even in high school, we used to have, some physics books that we wait for somebody to finish. You remember, if you want to learn about something, you have to go to encyclopedia.
Yeah.
We didn't even have, I mean, I'm not that old, I'm just 42, but look, we didn't even have that lecture in high school to have a Google, Google something and then, get all these things together. So, but today, look at, I mean, if you ask me about anything right now, I can look like I'm an expert of that because I have in my hand ChatGPT where I can, ask ChatGPT, not even type, even in voice, tell me about what financial inclusion means in Ethiopia. And then it tells me, everything that I need.
Can you do that with ChatGPT?
Yes.
You can give it a voice and it can answer. Jordan, tell me about this thing.
It is. I can show you after this show.
All right.
It's amazing. And it can even tell you, if you want, it can even tell you that you don't even need to read. It can narrate that for you.
Yeah, all right.
So imagine how easy access to knowledge is where in our this time. In our time, you remember, off the mic, you used to tell me that, there are, law books that are, you saw them in the morning and you can't find them because some kids hide them somewhere else because they want to find that book after they come back from lunch. So that is the experience that we had. And, in today's world, it's a whole different story. Kids from 10 to 13, or they can become experts on a product. By not going to university, I was seeing a kid in a LinkedIn just a couple of days ago, an Ethiopian kid telling us that he has himself self-taught, became a programmer and developing a product. I think probably 13, 14 years old. Probably a brilliant product that can be used in the market right now. So it is that good where we are right now. And if my son asks me what kind of things that we've gone through, you're making me very old, by the way. Asking me this question.
We're around the same age, man.
But it is the beauty of technology. Within this small period of time, because the kind of things that happened in the last 20 years probably do not happen. Could not happen. Or the things that has changed, the kind of transformation technology has in the last 100 years, these 5 years probably could double that. It is the speed of change and the speed of progress of technology is incredible right now. So I can't even stand to compare what we have gone through during that time and what the kids have it right now.
I sometimes think about the whole thing and I feel like the struggle our teachers went through to bring a lesson to the classroom. That was a tough time. And I had the courage and the audacity to question that this teacher is not teaching me well, because what I thought I should know and what he was giving me was not actually enough. So I used to blame our teachers, but now
I still have the same limitations.
And now I think of it, where could the guy bring? He couldn't have a book to read other than the books that we know from the library, or he cannot buy them. But today, the whole thing is different. But the reason I asked you that question, and I want you to reflect a bit on that before we move into visa, is why not use the opportunity? Why not use a chance? I know this is an attention economy. Every company from the US, every company from China, every conglomerate, big companies from around the world are striving to take the attention of individuals and capitalize on that. I know, I understand. There are platforms that are capitalizing only on the attention of individuals everywhere across the globe. But still, there is a chance for us to learn. There is a chance for us to harness the opportunities that are provided by technology. I struggle to find a way to tell these people, these kids, young people, that this is a chance. And we didn't have it back then. You can learn anything that you want within a day or within a week that used to take us a year.
But they know.
They know.
They know. I mean, like, I'll tell you a story for my son.
All right.
You know, my son is just now 9 years old.
All right.
You know, and he's last year I gave him a PS5.
All right. You haven't.
PS5.
You brought the monster to the household. All right.
I had to.
All right.
It's I think it's a bribe. So
All right.
so then the default. I didn't even buy him a lot of CDs or downloaded some of the games for him. Just gave him the default one, right? What it comes with. I saw him recently. He used to struggle and then learn, and then he went all the levels that I these days. Do you know how he does that? Whenever he gets an opportunity to go to YouTube or use my phone or his mom's, he goes and sees how other people finish those games. He's a 9-year-old, and he figured it out that people, he can learn how these things are done. How the other people's win this or understand the stages of the game for him to figure out how he's gonna play it the next time. 9-year-old.
Yeah.
I didn't teach him. I know his mom didn't teach him this, but his mom used to show them a show like how to build this a nail, how is this being made in YouTube. So from there he learned that that means YouTube is a source where I can learn, and he used it to win the game that he's having struggle with.
All right.
So that means as much as we really appreciate for me and you, we have the two experiences, and we really are impressed. And they also get, as I told you earlier, that kid who taught himself to code and develop a product. So actually, even the schools are adjusting to that, and a lot of technologies are being introduced into a lot of education. So even if it is not, they are not going to wait for it. It's already there for them to grab, and they are taking advantage of that. That's my opinion.
Amazing. All the points that we are discussing about are really interesting, because the time it requires, the knowledge of the comparisons that we're trying to make in here, and the understanding will be really important for people that are listening to this or watching this. So let's talk about visa. And first of all, I just want to appreciate the contribution that you are making to the industry that you are in, and the things that are to come in Ethiopia because of the presence of visa in here and your leadership. But I just want to know, first of all, before going into the details, I just want to know what you feel about this thing. Do you think you earned your position in visa?
Oh, yes, I did.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, but it's also interesting how I came to visa also. So, I used to, as I told you, I came back, started working in one of the banks, Bank of Abyssinia, in one of, a very interesting product, Apollo digital banking. And I got an opportunity to work for Cooperative Bank of Oromia, where we actually, I used to lead the digital financial services department as a, associate vice president, senior director. So we gave me an opportunity to, grow the mobile money platform that we have in the bank, and then there was an opportunity. I used to be very, very, very much interested about financial inclusion and all that. I told you I used to work in East Africa, in Kenya and Uganda, right?
Yeah.
I think at that time when I was there, for me to see some of my colleagues who work with me in that company has access to finance, like, because you are a consultant and working in a good company like that, just having the contract that you have in that company will earn you to go to any bank and, ask for a car loan, a house loan.
No, right.
We didn't have that luxury, right, in our side. So financial inclusion used to be something that I'm very passionate about for my country.
No, right.
Because it's a miss, it's a big gap, right? Until recently, this is a public knowledge that, less than 400,000 people actually have access to finance in Ethiopia, right? That is something that really is something that I want to be part of during this change. I want to, that I used to work in a very decent company. I have regular good salary, probably better than, a lot of individuals, right? But I didn't have the capability to go to a bank if I was not working for a bank, show that and get a car loan and start driving early enough. I could have, but I didn't because that opportunity was not there. So I used to be very much passionate about how we can change the these things. I also had an exposure and experience in other market like UAE, where loans are very easily and affordably can be accessed by any individual. So I used to work for Cooperative Bank of Oromia. One of the flagship projects that we have is a digital lending platform called Michu, is Korea for technologies, and that was a very good opportunity for me also to contribute to that product to become what it became today. For it to become a very digital product where people can access it through a mobile app. So having that experience in the market, having the exposure and experience in UAE in digital banking, digital transformation, core banking in general, and the project management experience that I had during my implementation, and actually also the teaching experience. Probably the kind of conversation that I can hold with you right now is because of the teaching experience that I had. When you are a teacher, you present every day. And that also really gave me an opportunity to be to present my ideas, probably properly.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
But that all that experience, and I'm being here when the opportunity with Visa come to me, it was a platform. I mean, when I decided to move to Visa, it was a platform. I made a decision that it's going to be a bigger platform for me to actually contribute even much better and more wider to the banking and the financial in the sector and the digital transformation of the country.
All right.
And did I earn it?
Yeah.
I believe so. And I'm trying to strive to make it better, to grow the business in the country, which we are growing. But I also have a very strong team, be it in the country or also, the hub that we have in Kenya, amazing people, the hub that we have in South Africa, in Dubai. Everybody works for your target. If you just have to, bring the opportunity, what it looks like in Ethiopia, and then you make the people that you work with believe what you believe, and then you have resources that you can make those opportunities work for both for the company and for the clients that you work for, and that's what has been happening for some time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible points. I understand that you went through several process and you sacrificed a lot to actually be where you are today, and you learned a lot. But sometimes you think that this kind of big things come and we don't see the process, we don't see the struggle. So we think opportunities are coming overnight and people are grabbing them. And that is a perception some people may have. But I can understand and relate to the struggle and earning the position or the title, the leadership title that you have now. One point about a corporate world I have, and we talked about this thing also. I see people climbing the ladder of the corporate world, become a leader, a director, a vice president, a president, and things of that nature. At the same time, you see these people stressing over issues And I think these people are not leaving. Am I being lazy in assuming that these people are not leaving? Because if you give me the opportunity, ask me to go climb the ladder, I would say no. I want to leave. Am I being lazy in assuming that?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who actually would struggle, stress about that. But there is a lot. The people that I know who are actually made it in that level, actually, I see them like the people who are living their purpose. A lot of them. Yes, you might probably find them in a work environment where sorting out a very complex issue or something that might look like that. But as long as you keep the work-life balance properly, and why your why very well. I think I cannot speak for a lot of people. I'm still growing in my career. I'm not there yet. I hope I will. But where I am right now, I'm looking after the Eastern Africa region. Actually, I look after 6 countries as a senior director, and it is very difficult to find the balance, between work-life balance. There are times that I used to tell my wife, I have some ambition that I want to make. I want to see the Ethiopian digital transformation, being part of it and all that. Just give me 2 years, and I will also grow in this thing. I will be more present with the kids and everything. She laughs about it. She says, you are given. It's okay. I'll take care of it. But
after 3 years,
you're still gonna go for another one.
Yeah.
There is also this Eastern Africa now. I have to, make a difference there.
I know.
And all that. And then maybe tomorrow there will be something else.
I know. But I think I'll see the 65-year-old Yared still talking about climbing a ladder, another ladder.
Yes, but that is the thing now. So there is an art of. I think I'm actually. It's also good to have mentors. I'm in a time where I'm still naive. I'm still going for what I believe in. Every opportunity should be won and everything like that. No, there are opportunities that you have to let go and things like that. So I'm in a place where I need a mentor. Those are the people. Those people that you said actually have mentors, sponsors that they go back to, and then open up and also get some advices and all that. And I am blessed to have a couple of them. Mostly my direct bosses usually become my mentors, but that's not also right. I should have somebody separate, and I'm working on that. And there is also a lot of people in the market actually who used to contribute to my career, my growth, that I call the mentors that I go to whenever I'm stressed. And I was like, I'm trying to get this thing done, or I'm trying to hire for this position. What's your suggestion? How do I, this is the challenge that I face and all that. Even if you don't get the right answer, it is to have a place where you also everything that you have on the table is also very important.
All right.
So in my opinion, if you have a mentor, if you have, my wife is my friend, my best friend. So I don't want to burden her with my work. Most of I learned it not to burden her with my work stress, because I don't want to give her another stress.
Nice.
But then, when there are times that I actually talk to her about, my challenges, and then we talk about it.
Amazing.
There are times that she simplifies it.
Wow.
Because when you are in the problem, you think that it is too complicated, because you also have a lot of things both that you are juggling. So for her, she looks, at that and it's simple.
An outsider's look.
When she made it simple, it becomes, I see that becoming simple as well. So have those people. And I am blessed to have a lot of good friends that I grew up with, friends from college that I actually still work out with, friends of friends that I, become very friends. So, there are, and very educated, very, very much contributing to the market in their businesses as well. And if I want to talk about economics, the economy of the growth, there are friends of mine who are very close to me, who I find in every other day that I can talk to. I'm not an economist, but those are friends of mine are economists. They'll tell me about, it is very important actually for my job.
Yeah.
And then they give me the breakdown of how the country's economy is going, and those are the people that I leverage. So you're not, when you are a leader and at that level, you don't have all the answers. You just have the resources, the people. And I always believe surround yourself with those people, right? So I'm not an expert of every digital products that Visa has. I'm not, but there are a lot of experts that I'm working with, who I call friends of mine, who I leverage. When I'm in front of a customer, at least I have enough knowledge about that. And even if I don't, and then there are people that I bring with me to to sell that products together. So those are the very important things. And if you have all that, I think work hard, play hard is very hard to master, but
work hard, play hard.
That is the goal.
And for me, work hard sometimes, live better, and play sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, you mean
actually that combination is better. Work hard, live better. Is
that's all right.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the why in life. That's a very crucial point, I believe. Did you figure out what that why is for you, other than in family?
I think, I mean, you know my answer. Basically, I'm still trying to find more, but at this point in time, my why is, become better on what I do. Support and help people around me.
Yeah.
Become a friend, not a boss. All right. And then, be there for the family and give everything that he didn't have for the boys, for the family, for my family. And that's my why. So as I told you, at the end of the day, I go back to that, that anchor that I have. If it is, and I told you several times that I made a decision, even in my career, depending on what it means for my family. So, so those are the things.
I respect
my
that.
why. Yeah,
I really respect that. But sometimes I feel like we have this life, a beautiful life, but we have families around us we love. And the points that you were making are the struggles that we face every day. For example, you want to buy a house and you think about it a lot. You have the energy to go towards that house, you buy it. After you acquire it, after you have it, it's not, I mean, the feeling that you'll be having is not the same feeling you've been having thinking about it. So you'll be thinking about a bigger house. Maybe why not a bigger building? So I'm really afraid of this thinking, ambition after ambition, ambition after ambition. And without knowing it, you'll be full of gray hairs like me. And you will not have the time to enjoy anything and everything you have. So isn't it better just to stand, to reflect, to see everything? I want you to be ambitious. You are an Ethiopian. I want you to be there, conquer everything. I mean, be that guy you want to be. But still, because I like what you're doing, because you are amazing, I just want to have that Yared who can see his surrounding and become observant of the areas he's surrounding and enjoy it at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you think you can have that kind of mentality maybe?
I hope. And I wish, that is the target. It should be, right? So at the end of the day, you have worked hard, you get all the business up and, all the numbers very nice and all that. And then you are earning a lot, better. You can buy things. The house that you say, you remember the season that when you wanted to buy a house, you only see houses. When you are buying a car, you only see cars. And
Definitely.
After that, it just goes, and then you continue to the next one and all. Yeah, I think having all better goal to become bigger, and have the place where you want to go and where you want to be, or you will be having something or becoming someone. It's not going to end. It's going to continue. You just have to learn to find the balance to have fun doing it. And for me, is having the family that I cherish, having the friends and surroundings, the people that I love. That is my my sit down and watch what I grow, what I became or achieved. And it is still the story is still being written.
Yeah, right.
It's just I believe I'm just starting.
All right. Amazing. Very good. I mean, I really appreciate what you're doing, because I came from a background of law, and I studied journalism and communication, leadership, and all these things. But you did it. You studied physics, then other things, computer and things like that. You still believe that people should experience, or people should actually practice communication, selling what they have, storytelling, and things of that nature. It's really amazing. Do you really believe we have what it takes to be that person that you are trying to become, in terms of selling ourselves, telling our stories? Because how we grow up is actually confined to, this is how we grow up. Rewards, not speaking, not talking, not explaining anything. So if you're not explaining a thing, if you are actually someone who prefers to be reserved, you'll be applauded, you'll be appreciated.
No,
go ahead. Tell me.
Yeah, I think that's a good point that you brought. Actually, this is I think our culture, the way we grow up, did not really. I think our kids probably have it better this time, I would say, but the culture. You brought a very important point about selling ourselves. I don't think as Ethiopians we are very good at it. Actually, I know we are not very good at it. I learned these things when I started, traveling. And I go, learn it from my friends from Kenya.
Wow.
These people. We are very much, modest. I don't know with the right word. Even if we are experts of something, we don't sell ourselves. That's one of the things that we have to learn to change. I'm still struggling with that, but I think I'm much, much better than I was 15 years ago.
Nice.
Right? So that's how you grow. And it's also important that, and you should also be proud of what you achieve, and don't be arrogant.
No.
Sorry.
Amazing. Yeah.
Just be humble.
Yeah.
And sell yourself properly, and that's actually that gets you a proper where you want to be, or a proper job. If I don't sell myself properly, I wouldn't get the job with visa, right? So that is very important, and it's something that you can practice and grow with. And there are times that you have to stand in front of a mirror and then practice what you're going to say in an interview or something. It's very important. I mean, you have to do the effort to do that. Our culture did not really help, but for me, what helped me is, as I told you, when I grew up, my mom used to ask me read a book and present. I used to be a teacher, and all that actually gave me an opportunity. And I used to, even the kind of English that I'm speaking right now, I think because I'm so courageous and just speak it, is because that's how I grow. Otherwise, like I said, I was in a typical school, government school.
Yeah.
It's practice. It is everything. So will be selling yourself or speaking a better English. I'm still speaking Janmida English, but still.
No, it's okay. You're being modest. You're being humble, man.
So, but still, it takes to be bold, to be courageous, to go for it. Fail sometimes, it's no problem. You learn. Actually, that's the best place to learn from, right? Go for it, fail. Sometimes get yourself embarrassed by speaking something.
Definitely.
But then that is what it takes to get there. So I believe that's the process that I've gone through to be here. And
All right. How do you entertain yourself?
Oh, that's a good question. By the way, I mean, like, apart from the friends that I told you about, and then try to be as much as possible. But I mean, like, once in a month, we just used to, we have a call where we, eat raw meat and, it's just, but apart from that, for me, I think I'm a Netflix person. Just go and watch movies, series, I really love sitcom.
You like sitcom?
Okay. Probably if you open a season or an episode of Friends, I probably will tell you, everything that they say before they see it.
Amazing.
Every year, for the last 15 years, I watch Friends. I just, open it in the background and then into that. And just, sometimes if I want to, there are kind of stressful work or something that you can't do anything about it, but just wait. I just find a very good series of a movie and just bury myself into it. Otherwise, I'm a kind of very obsessed to get something solved. And I actually
you've been telling me about ADHD or something like that.
I know. I'm like that. I'm like, what do you call it?
Obsessive?
Something, if I see something like this and I don't like it, I have to come back to correct it. If I have something that I'm thinking about or what I want to accomplish, I can't stop thinking about it. It's a problem. It has to be, you have to grow out of that and all that. So I think I'm still learning, but those are the places where I entertain myself. Watch a good movie with my family, with my wife, with friends, or go to the. I go to the gym with friends, people that I really enjoy being around with, people who actually shape every day, making you humble, learn from them and everything. I believe that I have a blessed friends group, so. That's I believe that's how I entertain. I love traveling, and every country I go to, I try to learn about the country.
Culture. No, right.
But these days, I go to the country if it is work, right? I do the job and come back, and it's when people tell me that, oh, you have gone to Seychelles. How was the country? That. I just don't have a lot of things to say about Seychelles. And I was like, next time I go, I'm gonna make it work and then just at least see the place. But you have to learn. So I also love to do that. I think probably when I retire, or that's one of the things that I really want to do with my wife. Go travel and see the world.
All right. Amazing. I mean, I didn't see it coming. An executive from visa binging friends. That's amazing, man.
That's most of my friends do that.
I know. Everyone, it's we do it all the time. So
and I think there is no other episode, series that is made to top it. Not yet.
Really?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
I would say Big Bang Theory. Anyways, that's all right.
We're gonna stay the whole night here.
All right, it's okay. No problem. Hollywood got us here. Hollywood. All right. That's it's really fantastic. Hearing about all these experiences, actually overcoming the problem and living the life that you want to live and giving it to other people around you, your kids, your family, and witnessing all this happening while you're raising your life. That's really fantastic. But I want you to tell me one problem that you want to address in Ethiopia before everything ends. What is the biggest problem that you're seeing here? And you want to address it, be involved in that. Why you, still breathing? Why you still breathe?
I don't like lining up.
All right.
I hate it.
All right.
I think it's one of the reasons that pushed me to buy a car. I don't like lining up and waiting for a taxi. I hate it. And I also don't like I'm sorry, but that's a fact that, when you go to Kabale or Wareda or the kind of services that we are getting and all that, because we are transitioning, we are growing. So if you ask me what I want to change is, first of all, all of these things in the rest of the world are changing because they are mostly digitized. I want to see the Ethiopia that you can apply for a license for anything, or for a driving license at home using your, one single source of truth, the national ID or digital ID, you call it, and you get all the services through digitally.
All right.
I wanted to see an Ethiopia where I don't have to put myself in front of for a simple service of getting a birth certificate of my son.
All right.
And not go back there 10 times to get one certificate. I want to see an Ethiopia where I can apply for a birth certificate for my son and get it digitally immediately. And, and what I do, and I want to see that the digital transformation of the country, the financial inclusion. I want to see I want to be part of it. And I want to see the country where, a university student graduating out of school, gets a decent job and gets a finance just like that. And it is happening, but it is gradually, but we are working on that. And that's the kind of country that I want to see. Service in Ethiopia, a lot of things can be digitized and simplified, right? Those are that's the passion that I have because I lived it. When I was in UAE, most of the things are really online, right? And you don't have that kind of friction, right? The kind of problems that we see. And I want to see, a subsidy where my 50-something-year-old aunt don't go and beg for someone to get service on. She can order it from home and get a better one. So that's through a digital transformation by digitizing the government services, by digitizing most of the these things that we have troubles with. So I want to be part of that. I don't want my kids to go through the kinds of bureaucracy processes, this, paper and everything that we go through. I want my son using his FIDA ID, get every service that he wants, be it from the government or social, whatever places. So that's what I do, what I'm doing, and that's what the problem that I want to solve.
Great. The Ethiopia that you live in, I live in, is a very complex Ethiopia. I understand. Born in a different place, came to Addis, and started all the experiences, go to school, study, understand the whole thing, live with people, experience a communal life. I think you've gone through all the things that a person should go through. Do you really believe that you know Ethiopia now?
No, not yet. I've been very busy trying to, get myself educated, go to a better job, do what I do, passionately and, all that. But I didn't get the time to really, learn about the history and the story of Ethiopia more than any average individual would know, or any typical Ethiopian. I want to learn more about the history of the country, how we, the whole this thing. And I've not also seen all of, the places that I want. I don't want to travel. I don't want to, if you ask me how many countries you have, I can tell you, but how many places that you have seen in Ethiopia who actually a lot of people travel a long place to go to, I can't tell you much.
Wow.
So I don't know Ethiopia that much yet. I know what I know in my surrounding, what I do and that. But in the near future, when things are better to travel and all that, I want to go and see the places that everybody wants to see in Ethiopia, the historical places, the churches, I didn't see and go and see the lowest place in the earth, which is in my country.
Yeah. That's what I'm about to say. Like,
I didn't see that. So I want to see all that.
Definitely.
So considering all that, there's a lot I'm going to learn about Ethiopia. I don't know.
I mean, people keep telling me about traveling to other places, and I've had the chance to travel to different places in the world. But the amazing thing is still in here. I had the chance to drive through Bali Mountains, saw all the things that I have to see, and I was like, wow, this is my country.
Yeah.
I went to Afar or went to Jigjiga, one of the places in Somalia, and I was like, oh, this is my place. This is my home.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know, most of us, we don't know what we have.
Yeah.
And we still strive to get what other people have. You have the experience in UAE. You went to Abu Dhabi, had the experience in there, seen the weather in there. But you have it in here, and you can have it more than that as well. That's the main reason I asked you the question.
Yeah.
You have all the chances in the world.
Yeah.
Make it a purpose to see Ethiopia.
Definitely.
That should be it.
Yeah.
That should be one of the to-do list.
Yeah. I am passionately talk about, digital transformation, the little that I know and everything. I also want to talk, I have friends who actually know and, talk about Ethiopia better. And but you can only learn from people much, but practically. So that's one of the things that I really want to do in the near future, God willing. So I want to see places. We started with my family. We don't actually go when we go to vacation. We don't go for many different reasons, but also we go to local destinations in our summer vacations. So it's a good place to start, but it is not touched yet. Not at all. I've seen Arba Minch very well last year. I've seen Hawassa with the kids this year, and probably Bahadar next year, and then we'll get there. Definitely.
So, what are the three things that Yared is aiming to achieve, maybe in the coming 2 years? Now you have your position career-wise. Tell me the three things.
The three things in how many years?
In the 2 years. I mean, you are an achiever, an overachiever, so I don't want to extend it to 5 years.
No, see, I just like I say, I have a lot of conviction in being part of the digital transformation of the country. And there is a lot of ambition as myself with my company, with Visa. We really want to do a lot more than what we do in the country. And we are in the right direction, I believe. So I want to open up the country for technologies that, the Visa can offer. That is one thing. And, grow more and better, become a more mature leader. And that's one thing that I also want to do. And the other thing, as I told you earlier, is learn about my country better, more, and also in my new role now, looking after Eastern Africa, grow that region towards the potential it can grow to. There is a lot of combination of countries there, right? If you look at Mauritius, it is a little bit more advanced when it comes to technology and the payment and all that than Ethiopia and Madagascar, which are very similar to each other. Comoros and Djibouti are also another. So all of these places, there's a lot of huge opportunity that we have not tapped into, and there's a lot of digital transformation that can be done in Ethiopia, Mauritius. Ethiopia, Madagascar, especially, and Djibouti, and I just want to, in the next 2 years, grow the business, multiply it, and then, those are the things that I want to do career-wise.
Amazing. Yeah. You mentioning these countries, Mauritius, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Madagascar, all these countries, and you having the opportunity to lead the operations and all other activities of Visa in all these countries. I believe you have the understanding as to the work culture of the people in these different countries. Is there any salient feature that a different kind of character that people in certain country, maybe in Madagascar, have that is different from the Ethiopia? And is there any experience that you say this one is a based?
No, so every country has its uniqueness.
All right.
We always say, my challenges and my problems are very unique. Ethiopia is different. The same is true for Madagascar. The same is true and we have a different culture, and it is actually an opportunity to learn from these different kinds of, these different walks of life. But one thing that keeps me going and is constant is who you are, and the kind of person you are. As long as you are there to solve a problem, you are a people's person, you want to understand and make a difference and hungry for growth and everything. The rest of the other things is actually a plus for you. The challenge in Ethiopia might probably be completely different from what is in Madagascar, different from what is the problem that you are solving in Mauritius and things like that. So, for me, yes, there are very much uniqueness in everywhere you go, but it is power. It's actually an opportunity for you to learn and grow, exposed, to.
Okay, this is my last question. I'm really enjoying the whole thing, and I'm extending all the conversations because of the interest I have, and the source that you have is really amazing. So this will be my last question. You see Ethiopia, and you have this different experience in different part of the world, including the region that you are leading, the eastern part of Africa. Do you really believe the eastern part of Africa can compare with that of the likes of Nigeria, the likes of maybe the northern part of Africa in terms of technology? Because they have a designation for even the places that are innovative. There is Silicon Valley in the US. In Nigeria, they have a designation, a name for that specific area where they innovate, where entrepreneurs are supposed to come out from that specific area. I think they have the guts, they have the courage, they are a go-getter. These people of big ambition, people of achievement and something like that. But in this part of the world, in this part of the continent, Africa, especially talking about Ethiopia, we're not like that. We're just some people. We're reserved. We see things happening. We are hesitant for the most part.
Actually, when it comes to digital transformation, by the way, Eastern Africa is even faster.
All right.
East Africa in general. Look at what Kenya did with M-Pesa, right? Amazing, right? A lot of digital transformation. Actually, I can say it is fast, the fastest growing probably in Sub-Saharan Africa. Could be also East Africa. But the places that you mentioned, North Africa, Nigeria, even South Africa. Actually, for East Africa, we should shoot for where South Africa is, in my opinion.
All right.
Right? So in many aspects, but also it's a combination. There's also something that South Africa will learn from Kenya, and Ethiopia is actually emerging now. And look at Mauritius. Mauritius has actually, it's becoming one of the really destination areas in many business or tourism and everything. So, all of these different African countries have their own flavors and their own struggles and their own expertise that we each are learning from right? I don't have a lot of experience in West Africa to compare us to, but I believe that in this journey we are all in the right direction, and some of us will be faster than the other, but it's like you said, the world is becoming just a country, right? So that is how I see it. Yeah.
Finally, is there anything that Yared sees that you want us to see? Is there anything in terms of experience? It could be the journeys that you've taken and the process, the experiences that you've had, and you think that thing is big or that thing is important for people to know. Is there any specific thing like that?
No, I think, like I said, there are. I've mentioned the Ethiopia that I want to see, and the East Africa, and my passion and all that. I'm gonna focus and concentrate and to do what I do and what I love doing.
All right.
And I just want to see the digitally transformed, all those problems that I told you that can be sorted through, a platform, be solved. And let's be open-minded, support each other. And at the end of the day, what matters is people. So, you see each other, be the reason for your growth is one of the things that I'm really, passionate about, right? So, where I am today, I didn't get because of what I did, what I have worked hard for. It is also because of the people that I was surrounded with. I believe I consider myself very lucky to have all those people who helped me to grow, to become all the bosses, the good and the bad, who helped me to become the kind of person that I am, and the friends that surrounds me, who helped me, who ground me, who tells me who I am every day, and humble me. And those are the things. Those are the very important things that you have to be very careful about. Yeah, and I think that's what I want to say.
Yared, it's been an amazing conversation, and thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure is all mine. It was a very energetic. I didn't even see how far we have. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate the things that you do.
Thank you so much. All right.